Welcome back to Publicized Theory Podcast, the podcast where I talk about self mastery, self development, and concepts that'll help all of us become the best version of ourselves. If you are a new listener, thank you for tapping in with me on this Friday. If you are a regular listener, thank you again for your continued support. It is greatly appreciated. Today, I wanted to talk about influences that we have in our lives, some positive, some negative, and how we can always be aware of the influences that are affecting our decisions in the things that we want to do and the places that we want to go. You'll be surprised that a lot of things around us, a lot of people around us, a lot of things that we engage with has a lasting impression. Like I said, some of which can be positive, other times it can be negative. We all should be aware of what is actually influencing the decisions that we make, the places that we go, the things that we do, the people that we interact with, so on and so forth. So I have a great episode lined up today. What better way to start with talking about influences and talking about what can and cannot influence us, and if there are even things that really can't influence us. Obviously, we have control of the influences that play a role in our lives, but what is that per se? And how is it correlated to where we are right now in our lives and where we want to go in the weeks, days, months, and years ahead moving forward? Now, for me, I've always had influences in my life. And most of the time, people who grow up have influences in their lives, whether it's their parents, whether it's their school, whether it's their friends, whether it's the environment that you are raised in. These are all influential factors that mold us to become the person that we are. It shapes our minds, it shapes our beliefs, it shapes what we believe in, essentially our morals, so on and so forth. But as we step out of that adolescent phase, as we step out of that teenage phase, as we step into the quote unquote real world and adulthood, what are some of the things that continually influence us in the direction that we want to go in? Sometimes it's hard to pinpoint what positive influences we have around us. And most of the time, with the internet and now YouTube and so on and so forth, we're able to gravitate towards positive influences at any day of the week, at any given hour, at any given moment in time. But at the same time, we can easily be impacted by negative influences at any given hour, at any given time, via the internet, via YouTube, via friends, indirectly or directly, especially via family, indirectly or directly. A lot of the times this goes really unnoticed because many times we feel that we are in control in terms of making the decisions that sway the direction that our lives are going in. But how can we audit the influences that have led us to make some decisions that either led us in the direction that we wanted to go in or in a direction that we didn't want to go in? Or the decisions that stopped us from achieving and going after the things that we truly want. And that's the most important part about being aware of influences that I want to speak about today, is the negative influences. The negative influences that really put doubt and fear and uncertainty into the goals and the dreams and the aspirations that you have for you in your life. And those may come in different forms. Those may come indirectly through family, friends, peers that you have around you that can't really grasp the dream that you have, the idea that you have, the business that you're thinking about, the marketing agency that you're looking to start, whatever it is that you have in your mind. They may not be able to fully understand and grasp what it is you're trying to do or believe in what you're trying to do. And in many ways, you can't really knock them for it because it's not their dream to believe in. It's not their vision to believe in. Maybe you're saying to yourself, well, it may not be their vision, but that does not mean they can't believe in me, the person. You're right to make that assessment and ask that question and have that thought. What happens oftentimes is they're not in your shoes and they don't have the mindset that you have in that given moment to think and feel that that dream or that vision is actually possible. And there are negative influences that we have in our lives that, like I said, indirectly or directly can sow doubt, can put fear, can put uncertainty into what you have going on in your life because one, they've never attempted to do what you're trying to do. Two, they've never had a dream or a desire or severe thirst to accomplish something that is outside of the norm, that is outside of conventional society, in pursuing something that is a lot of risk, but still at the same time high reward. There's so many different factors. There's so many different elements to it, but we all need to understand what influences that we're feeding off of when we are trying to achieve something that many people have not achieved around you. It's so easy to believe someone when they say, I don't really see that happening because XYZ. In that very moment, you need to ask yourself, is this person qualified to give their opinion and influence indirectly on something they've never tried to do, attempted, or doesn't even have a similar experience where they had to persevere and push through and actually come out on the other side successful? Has this person been through something like that? And I recall reading in Principles by Ray Dalio a very long time ago. He speaks on this very concept in terms of speaking to people who are actually qualified, being influenced by people who are actually qualified. And the qualifications range and vary based on what it is you're pursuing and the things that you're doing. So it all varies. The qualifications always vary by the dream that you have. So are you actually being influenced by qualified individuals, qualified experiences, qualified elements in your life that can actually serve as a positive purpose and a positive influence for you moving forward? Because it's easy to listen to your cousin, it's easy to listen to your aunt, it's easy to listen to your friends who may be in a similar situation than you are in right now. But do they have the same dream as you? Are they trying to accomplish the same things in life as you? Are they trying to go places that you want to go and experience things that you want to experience? And in that particular situation, yes, that may be true. Most of your friends or family may want to take a vacation to Cabo, to go to Europe, XYZ. Okay, that's very much fine. But that does not mean that they're working towards that happening. Many people are wishing and dreaming, but are not really putting in the work to make those things happen. And you see it time and time again when years go by and those things still haven't happened in their lives because they weren't really working towards making it happen. Of course, many things could have happened in their life that may have derailed them and so on and so forth. There are cases and situations that come up in life that obviously can derail you and take you in another direction. In the same breath, you can still make things happen. You can still try to achieve your dreams. You can still try to overcome and persevere. Analyze the influences that you are allowing to impact you on a day to day. Are they qualified enough to have an impact in your decision making, in your life, in your thoughts, in how you think about yourself, in your confidence in the dream itself? And if they're not qualified, then you have every right to dismiss the advice, the opinion, the doubt, the fear, the uncertainty that they're dishing your way, whether they mean it or not. There are a lot of folks in your life and in my life who mean well, who are in my life and want to show love the way they know how to show love. Many times it comes from a protection standpoint, especially from the people who love you. They just want to protect you. They just want you to be in a position to excel and succeed while also having the security knowing that you will be okay at the end of the day. There's nothing wrong in that. The only thing I would say about that is you have to decipher what you allow to affect you moving forward. And you have to understand that, especially from the people that love you, they're only coming from the experiences that they've had in their life and the dreams that they've had and the life that they live. Those negative influences will still show up from people who love you at the end of the day. So understanding that you have to be aware of the influences that play a role in your life. You have to be aware of what you're taking stock of from your surroundings, your environment, the people you engage with. And always ask yourself, is this person qualified? It may come off standoffish in a way, but at the same time, you can't tell me how to do something that you've never done. You can't tell me something would work that you've never attempted doing. I'm sorry, you're not qualified. You're not. Now, if this is coming from someone who's laid the foundation and who has made strides in the direction that you're also going in, and that has built the life that you are looking to build for yourself through similar ventures and endeavors and so on and so forth, sounds like a qualified person to me. But oftentimes we are taking advice and being influenced by people who are not qualified. And that can steal a dream, that can derail you, that can literally pour water on your fire and make you feel that what you're doing isn't worth it because so and so said that, oh, this won't work because of this, and this can easily go wrong, and why would you want to do that when you can easily do this, and all of the other things that they may tell you, instead of saying, honestly, I've never done that. I don't know the inner workings of how to make it happen, but I believe in you, I trust in you, and continue to push forward and look for information and network with people who are in that position. And I'm sure that you'll get to where you want to go. Now, that could easily come from someone who isn't qualified. It's unfortunate that in many cases it doesn't, because we are always projecting our insecurities and our view of life and our perception of what can and cannot be, that we're blinded to the endless possibilities that exist. With that being said, always pay attention to what is influencing you. Always understand that there will be people who are not qualified that may indirectly or directly try to derail you or will derail you if you allow it to happen. However, you can easily dismiss that and understand that you know where you want to go. You know that it may not be easy. You know that you're going against the norm, but that does not mean that it's not possible. That does not mean that it can't happen. That does not mean that you are not putting and working yourself into a position to allow it to happen. Understand the influences that you currently have in your life. Take an audit. Understand who it is that you're listening to. Filter out the noise. Filter out the things that are not feeding you the positivity and the momentum that you need to continue to push through, especially on those days where you may feel like giving up, or you may be questioning the vision and the dream, and is this going to work, and will it ever work, and what if I'm doing this all for nothing? Dismiss those thoughts as quickly as you can. Tap into a more positive frequency. Definitely can come here every Friday for that positive frequency. Just know that there will be way more positive influence that will continue to come into your life if you allow them to. Thank you for tapping into another episode of Publicized Theory Podcast. I greatly appreciate you all for tapping in with me every Friday. Have an amazing weekend. Continue to stay safe and stay blessed.